I'm going to say what's coming for July. Oh, you're going to get that more. But then you were also. Hello.
Hi, good morning.
Hey, Maria. Good morning. Hey, Amanda.
Hello.
Hi. Aisha's here. Matthew, how's it going?
Good.
Okay, it's the first of the month. We rarely ever meet on the very first of the month. This is a big, exciting thing, I guess. This is a big deal. It doesn't always happen that we're on the 1st of July. Yes. Any plans for 4th of July? Put in the chat or tell me if you have plans or whether or not you like fireworks. That is my question. I love fireworks. I am putting that in there. What was I looking for? I wanted to pull up a document for you to share. Oh, cool. Your parents are visiting Amanda and you love fireworks. Oh, yeah. Seeing them versus hearing them makes a big difference. Yeah. Okay, this is how old I am. I used to watch the movie Annie, the like Little Orphan Annie, but the original. And in the end, they write her name in fireworks. And that like imprinted on my toddler brain. And that's what I want. Like, I want my name written in fireworks. But I have yet to see that happen. That's just like hashtag life goals is my name is in fireworks. And then you know what I realized? The rest of the whole globe does fireworks for New Year's Eve. And in the US, like it's like, we sort of do it for New Year's, but like every country does fireworks for New Year's Eve, and we're the one that does them not on New Year's Eve, really, on the 4th of July. Oh, crazy. People set them up. Oh, cool. Aisha, you're visiting your brother. They're too loud. Yeah, they are like redonkulously loud. I get it. I have to go to Oklahoma City and go to a 4th of July party there for like an adjacent reason, like not my company, but my husband's company has like a party there, so I'm going there. Not my like people company, like I don't know who they are, but that's where I have to go. Oh, cool, Maria. They're a symbol of driving away bad spirits, fireworks. I love that. That is also a good reason to do it for the new year. Crazy. Cool. Um, it's a short week, which is nice. Um, I am curious if there were just like what your updates are from last time. Um, and then also if at your practice there is like if it feels like a new month, like is there a new focus for July so far, or does it just kind of feel like we're a continuation of the summer? Like, is there any discussion at your with the practice owner or anything about like goals for July? Not like whether they're KPI related or not. Is there any like focus for your practice in July? That's my question. And then what's been going on in the last week? I love the firework idea concept. But anyway, who would like to go first? Amanda, I kind of know your focus for July. You will be going on maternity leave. And
Yeah,
that will be your focus for July.
I was gonna say it's like practice wise, we don't have a whole lot of new focus, but we are trying to get a couple new therapists in our Baldwin office as well as and expand that location for the fall. So I'm sure the discussions will be happening here shortly about getting that started and so far, yeah, that's the only, I guess, new news practice wise that I've heard coming up. And then, yeah,
Okay.
like I said, having a baby in July. So that's my focus.
So exciting. That is awesome. Um, we wish you the best of luck with that.
Thank you.
And I will miss you in our meetings for that time. And I think it's awesome that you're going out on a high note with that awesome conversion rate in June. So when you come back, there might be more clinicians. That's what it sounds
Right.
like. Yeah.
Yep.
And is it kind of like you're trying to hire the clinicians now so that they can get licensed and ready, or like they can get on the insurance panels and ready to take clients by September? Or when you hire them, are they kind of like usually good to go?
They're usually good to go. So yeah, I'm not sure exactly when they're planning on hiring them, but usually takes about a week or so to onboard them and train and all that good stuff. But then we can start scheduling clients with them pretty much right away. So
Oh, good.
yeah.
Okay. Because sometimes I hear there is a delay there.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, not much with us at least.
Okay. Okay, cool. Sorry, one second. I was trying to put the otter in because it wouldn't come in and it's helpful for me to take notes. Okay. Do you have any updates on your KPIs?
Really the only update that I noticed was we were getting a lot more pushback on needing insurance. So the conversion rate wasn't so great this week. But overall the month is still good. So
Okay.
nothing to be too concerned about. But yeah, the needing insurance has definitely come up quite a bit in the last week or so.
Got it. Okay. That like needing insurance, like they don't have insurance or you don't take the one they have.
We don't take insurance and they want to find someone in network. Yeah.
I totally forgot you don't take insurance. I'm
Yep, it's all
sorry.
good.
Oh my gosh. Okay. Okay. Got it. Got it. All right. Anything else? Any questions
Yep,
or anything? All right,
that's
great.
pretty much it.
Thank you. How about Matthew? How are things going with you?
I'm okay. Uh,
Good.
yeah, I mean, I'm now that many people have left, I am I guess doing more of the intake info stuff, like front desk stuff. So that um is
Mm-hmm.
less adjustment than I've expected so far, but it's still early, so I'm not sure. I mean, I was already used to like coming in the mornings and being the only one answering the phone, so that's not that big of a deal. So I guess it's just like I still kind of have to see what it's going to be like. But there are some things that I'm like, well, now that I guess there's kind of like a mini reset going on, I
Mm-hmm.
can we can adjust things to be better going forward, I suppose. Like I mean, part of that is I'm in how I'm scheduling follow-ups in um well for now practice access. So and like there is like a lot of steps in that process that I have only done a couple of times myself because other people would get to it before me. So that's a transitory thing, I suppose. But it's still nothing horrible has happened yet, but I'm working on it, I suppose. Tr
Yeah. Okay.
Feeling it out. Yeah.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, you said it's less of it sounds like it's an adjustment, but you said so far a little less of an adjustment than you expected.
So far, yeah. I mean, as far as I know, the worst is yet to come, but I I just I just don't know yet is the
It's
thing.
all uphill from here. I hope not.
Not gonna not gonna jinx myself.
Good.
Gotta keep a positive attitude, right?
Yeah, I think it is a nice opportunity. Like whenever there's a change with the practice, I think it's a nice opportunity to reset, like reevaluate, and then feel what, what the new rhythm is going to be. But it always takes a while you're working out the new rhythm. Like the rhythm is wonky, like until you kind of figure out what your pacing is. Yeah. Well, and that sounds, so you're the one on the phones a little bit more than usual because you used to do just the billing and now you are responding to clients on
Well,
the phone.
I was like I mean for the longest time I would be the only one here in the mornings and that's where a lot of calls happen. So I would I'm used to that. I mean I guess not used to it, but like I am familiar with having to do that, right? So
Yeah, yeah.
that's not much of an issue at this moment. But I guess there is like an aspect of like being like in the zone about something and like doing it and then somebody calls and I have to drop everything and focus on that and that might branch off in like two different ways and then I'm like, wait, what was I doing? Right?
Yeah.
So that's
Yes. I actually like I've always noticed that about the client care role
Mhm.
that there's so much like process required, but you never know when the phone is going to ring, when someone's going to call in, and then what the issue is going to be. Like, you don't know if
Mhm.
it's going to be someone who is 97 years old suffering with depression, or it's going to be a mom of a 4-year-old that's having tantrums, or somebody who's a regular client asking about their billing. Like, you just
Mhm.
never know, which is a really wild thing about the client care position, I think. Because then you have to like switch gears back into like logic mode versus reactive relationship mode, which
Yeah.
is hard. Yeah, it's a skill. It's definitely like a muscle, but not. I don't know. What does it ever get easier? I don't know if it ever gets easier. Maybe you just get more used to it. What do you? Yeah, Amanda says yeah. Yeah, it is something really nuts about this role. Yeah, it is what makes it more unique and challenging. Yeah. Like it's like doing math problems and then being empathetic. And then doing math problems and then being empathetic. It's like back and forth. Yeah, interesting. Okay, and you mentioned like while you're still on Practice Access, which reminded me I want to share a website of resources for the practices who are switching to Practice Access on this call. So I will do that because it's very relevant to intake. Makes sense to share that here. Yeah. And and then Aisha, do you have any updates from the last week or KPIs? And I think you said you have a new position coming up that we might not be seeing you after a few weeks.
Yeah, so I'm leaving next week. Next Thursday is my last day at CW.
Oh,
Um,
okay.
yeah, I guess I've just been helping make the transition go smoothly, and we did have 3 people leave last week from the front desk. So, yeah, I guess Matthew already touched a bit on that transition. I
Yeah.
can
Well, I wish
share.
you the best with your new professional venture.
Thank you.
Yes.
I can share the KPIs. I didn't do the
Great.
ones for this week because I wanted to show Stacy how to do them, but I have up until this week. 1 second.
Okay, yeah, let's see those. That is awesome. I just saw Aisha pop in, but now I don't see her. All right. Cool. I can see your screen, Aisha.
So yeah, we did have some intakes this week or this month, um, and
Oh,
quite a few booked from waitlist compared to normal. Uh,
yeah, 7 from the wait list.
yeah,
Cool. Hi, Aisha. I saw you pop in and out. Nice to have you here. Just want to let you know I saw you pop in.
it seems like billing has mostly caught up on all of the benefits checks that were needed. I think we only have like 3 people left in that column now. So yeah, we were able to
Really?
get a lot of intakes done.
Oh, that's such good news. Because, yeah, look at this 11 from 3. And I know the previous month it was in the single digits.
Mhm.
So that is such good. Yep. I'm so glad. Well, it was in the double digits by the end of the month, but in May. But this is really good to see because I remember hearing about the billing issues so
Mhm.
much. So I'm glad they're pretty caught up.
And the open journeys are slowly winding down, so it's more manageable too.
Mm-hmm. Because like having about 100 is a lot.
Mhm.
All right, I see the light. I hope you guys see the light. I see some light creeping in. That is, thank you for keeping good track of that, Aisha, and sharing that.
Of course.
Great. Hey, Stacy, how are you?
I am well, Barrett. How are you?
Good, good. I am glad you're here. I think I included you on my Admira boot camp email this morning.
You did. I saw that.
Yeah.
So, and I got the email about the whole your account setup, going and play
Oh,
around. So,
okay. Good, good, good. Did you bring any questions today or anything you wanted to update us
um,
on?
I did not. I did not. I think that between that and Aisha, you've kind of got what's going on here. I do want to say kudos to the billing department who has finally caught up. I looked today, there are only two verifications that need to be done right now. So I feel like that's good. And I actually just got off a meeting with them. I feel like we're moving in a very positive direction
That's awesome.
with that. So that's really good. And I can say that Matt's doing an excellent job you doing
Yay.
more in practice access and whatnot. He's doing really well. And he and I, after Aisha leave, are going to be it until we can hire some more people. So,
You got this.
but other than that, we're good. We're good.
Okay.
Amanda, I did talk to our practice manager about your link about scheduling an appointment on the website, like and how well that seems to be doing and making the personal connections. So I'm really glad that that you shared that because even from your numbers, from what I recall, it seems to be making a difference.
Yeah.
And she did have some questions. Um, and now I can't remember what any of them are. So if we go along with this call and I can find my notes, I'll throw them out there to you. So if we can see how things compare and whether that's something that's actually doable for us. But
Okay.
the way you've been talking about it, it just sounds like a great use of everyone's time to be able to just do it that way.
Yeah, absolutely. And if you can't think of them during this call, my email is just hello@marblewellness.com. So you can email me afterwards as well.
Great, so much. Thank you.
Yeah, no problem.
Awesome. Hey, Aisha, how are you? Can you hear us?
Yeah, I don't know if y'all can y'all hear me? I don't know, trying something different.
Mhm. Oh,
Perfect.
wait, it's kind of delayed, but yeah.
Yeah, I've got internet today, like today for some reason, when I have my meeting for the office and this one, my internet is crap only on Tuesdays. I don't have any other day where I have a problem. It just knows that I'm gonna be on a lot of Zoom calls. I don't know. I can't figure it out, but it was real splotchy in the staff meeting last
Yeah.
hour and today. I don't know.
Oh my God. No, that's okay. I think last week I saw your name pop in and then pop out. So I was
Yeah.
like figuring you had internet issues too. Yeah.
Yes.
But I can hear you great. How are things going? It's the 1st of July. How do you feel about June? What do you have coming up for July? Any areas of focus?
Not too much. I think they're so we're running into a problem where I've got a couple new therapists, but each are only wanting to see like I don't know. We're having we're having a bigger push of adults, and I have a few more therapists available that want to see kids, and so I'm trying to run interference on that and see how we're gonna make that work. like trying to place someone right now that normally sees female therapists, but we have a male therapist available and seeing if he's gonna be okay with that. And we're just trying to figure out how to make this work with um a couple of our new therapists have strictly seen adults and are training to see children do play therapy, so they're wanting to focus their attention there, but I don't have those people to offer. So trying to work with Teresa to see if we can get them to be okay with seeing some adults in the meantime while we get that, just because of where we've been pushing and putting, more visibility for the center has been adult based, getting more calls for adults than I have been for children. And so, especially, I guess, because of the summer too, they're not probably going to want to start their children right now, um, because they're not here to do it and out of town and stuff. So, just kind of running into that issue. So, we're just trying to figure out how to navigate that right now. That's kind of where we are at this moment.
Okay, okay. So you're getting like I think 2 weeks ago or so, like, or maybe more, the concern was like there aren't enough inquiries coming in. But now it sounds like you are getting inquiries, but it's hard to place
Not a
them.
lot. But
Still
but
not a,
I'm getting more like like calls that are just coming through the phone, which I really wasn't getting when I first started.
oh,
I've already gotten two today, which is saying a lot, which probably the other clinics are laughing at. But for
you're
here,
sending that energy out there, Aisha, and they're calling you
yeah,
now. That's good.
yeah, exactly. So I'm getting more calls that way. We do get a lot through psychology today, but that goes directly to the therapist. So unless they send it to
It
me, I'm not
does?
seeing it. Yeah,
I find that curious.
yeah.
The I
So
think
they normally
the
will send
other
it over to me, but if they don't, I never see it and I can never handle it.
Oh, I have that as a tip or suggestion for Teresa to route that to you,
Yeah, okay.
because that's my suggestion, because you could then have a true sense of how many are coming in a month. And
Hmm.
then you have a follow-up system, and every
Hmm.
therapist will not have the same follow-up system.
We don't
Like,
have the time.
just because they're
Yeah,
different humans, they're going
right.
follow up differently. But if your practice wants to kind of be more diligent about what is the follow-up process, and is every incoming inquiry getting treated the same as far as are they being communicated with in the same rhythm of time? I just have that suggestion for Teresa to
I'll let
switch
her
the
know.
email. But
I think
okay.
she's up for any kind of other recommendations. I think she'll be more than happy to take on.
Yeah, throw that out
I
to her. Ask her what she thinks would be the pros and cons of doing that, because that's my suggestion. Yeah.
Yeah, because I think I'm gonna talk to her. She's been in court a lot this past week, so I haven't gotten to talk to her as much. But I did want to talk to her about, like, with Amanda, with scheduling time to speak with me directly, if that is an option to put on the website, because I think
Mhm.
that will probably help them too, to be able to do that. It's just not just a schedule an appointment, because a lot of time, like, the calls I have been getting, they're like, "Can I set up an appointment right now?" And, like, this is just not how they work here. Um, I have to do all the intake first before I can do any of all the paperwork and all that stuff first before I can set up an appointment. So I wonder if that would help. If it's done that way, that they are scheduling time just to talk with me right at the beginning so they can understand the path uh, to get to scheduling the actual appointment. So I'll talk to her when she's got some extra time, which hasn't been
Uh-huh.
lately, but I will.
Okay. Yeah, yeah. Throw that out there.
Yeah.
I had one more question for you, but I was just gonna confirm, everyone, everyone else on this call, Amanda, Maria, Matthew, and Aisha, do you get the psych today inquiry? You all get the psych today.
Yes, we do.
Yeah,
Maria,
we do.
yeah, you get it. Okay, that's what I thought. That's what I thought. Yeah, just a suggestion. I know why some practices do that, but anyway, that's just a suggestion now
Yeah,
that Aisha, you're
some
like focused
uh,
on follow up.
Yeah.
something about the psychology today. referrals that is, I guess, kind of odd is like it's sort of set up in a way that the client expects to be talking directly to the clinician whose profile it is that they're looking at. So like we get a lot of like the calls come through and they're asking, can I make an appointment with this person? And we're like, well, that's not exactly how it works. But um
Oh, that could be like a downside, like they get you instead of that person
yeah,
directly, like setting
and
expectations. Okay.
and I mean for the way that we specifically do it, I think that's a little bit of a mismatch because um like what is it? We have them fill out paperwork and one of the paperwork is like what clinician they want to see, but that's not necessarily who they're going to be paired with because of insurance and other like I guess clinical needs. So it is like a little bit of a weird presentation of expectations in that of like
Yes.
how exactly this process works because every time someone comes through from psychology today, we have to explain to them how the process works. But I mean, I kind of feel like we have to do that with everybody. So maybe that's a it can be a little bit clearer on the website maybe. So,
Yeah,
but not
that's a
everybody
really
reads
good.
the website. Yeah.
No, that's a really good point about that, about the expectations. That like
Hmm.
you always have to account for that with Psych Today. But maybe in the profile of the clinician, it could be said this person is part of XYZ practice, but yeah, that is a really good point. What Psychology Today does really well is it's a lead generation tool, like in the end
Hmm.
for practices. You know, like it is so popular that like it feeds potential clients to your practice. And then the harder part is they're coming with this expectation for that one. But I think you're saying you have to do that for almost everybody anyway who calls in. So just kind of like you yeah, like putting a little language about that in the profile or something. It the I think the benefits outweigh the downside of having the client care team field that because then you can make sure they get attention. Yeah, they get the same quality of attention. Yeah, just every therapist has a different schedule. Every therapist is going to have a different follow-up process if they have one at all. And so it's nicer, I think, for the practice to have it centralized. But yeah, that is a very good point. Aisha, Aisha, I had this other question for you. I just want to say I couldn't follow because I can't remember your practice is focused on children, but you're getting more inquiries for adults, or vice versa? You used to get adults and now you're getting children.
Kind of. Right now, we're in a weird uptick of adults.
Okay. All
Um,
right.
not not really old, not like older, but that sweet spot of like 25, 20, 25, like newer young adults. Um,
Mhm.
so I've had the mom reaching out for a 20-year-old. I've got two of those actually, and some that are perfect for some of my therapists that don't normally see kids. I mean, see adults. I have one making an exception to see this one. Um, because he might be autistic as well, and so she's really good with those. So I have some therapists that are willing to maybe break a little bit from their norm. So we're looking for some more to participate that way, so that I can
I
get some of
see.
these people placed that I have. But yeah, right now it's
Okay.
more adults than kids, and I need more teens, I think. I've got some people that would like to see more teens because they've been seeing a lot of 6 to 10-year-olds, and they're like, I'd like someone else I like talk to on a different scale. So we're
Yes.
figure that out.
Okay. Yes, makes sense. Because what I hear commonly from a lot of practices is that the therapists don't want to see too many kids. They're more wanting adults, and then the care team has to like convince them to see kids. But at your practice, it sounds like reverse a lot because
Yeah.
that's what their preferences is kids. Yeah.
Because we have two new therapists, and then we've got someone who just got their license, and so we're trying to get her some new clients, and we've got an intern, and I think we're getting another intern in a month, and so trying to figure out how to get people with them and for people to trust them, especially someone who has just gotten licensed, um, to
Oh,
see their
yeah.
kids or whatever. That's, I think, not is that be too tricky, but maybe I guess it depends on how much information the parents have on what we do or what they're expecting. Maybe the tricky part.
Yeah, yeah, that because there is that is another like our theme last week was about overcoming objections to booking an intake, and that is another objection is they don't want to see an associate or a newly licensed, and I think like the I've heard some well creative language around explaining that, but also like the the amount of school a therapist has to go to just to get to the point to be able to see a client is so extensive, you know,
Exactly.
and that it's like it's hard because the license is this word that the potential client can get hung up on, you know, and they might be missing out on like a really someone that has the most innovative ideas because they're newly out of school, so they've learned the latest research and techniques, you know. So
Right.
it's important to think about how to position that like from a like almost like a cheerleader perspective. Like, no, this person is amazing and here's why. And yes, they haven't been licensed, they've just gotten licensed, but blah blah blah. Like
Right.
I can maybe think of typing out some language that I've heard for you all. I'm curious what you say. One practice told me they say this person is under supervision, so you're also getting like the benefit of two therapists, almost like a team working with your kid. Like so that's one way to position it.
Right. And
It's
everybody
not
here,
they're not qualified.
they mostly all train with Teresa because that's how her plan is to have everybody trained with her. So they're doing trainings weekly, even people who've been here for a while. They do different trainings on, different things. That's what they have a training center here within the center is what they're
Oh,
working on now. So when we're getting new students, um, we've got, two or three, and then our new associates that are going to be working towards doing play therapy and EMDR, which they don't have experience with yet. We just have a lot of aspects, a lot of different balls in our court. So trying to get people who are coming in for EMDR and being like, okay, we have this new therapist, but they're not quite there yet. Can't say that because then that doesn't instill the confidence you want. So it's like, oh, well, we have this person, and later on they're going to be more certified in that. But you have to build the relationship first in order to do those things anyway. Um, the hearing a lot
yeah.
of buzzwords on TikTok and all that kind of stuff. I think that's people are like, oh, EMDR. They want to do that right out the gate, and they're like, don't fully know exactly what it is.
TikTok, Instagram, educating people for better or for worse about all these words. Yeah. Like sometimes it's great because it's like so popular. Now I know what hypervigilant means, but I never knew that before Instagram. Yeah. But then they come in with preconceived ideas. But it's probably just better that people are more informed. Yeah. That is something I will just leave you with this, like to highlight that there is a training center at your practice and like your practice owner is a like a true expert in the region on trauma, you know, like that. And then you could say like you could just try integrating the word team. Like it's like you have a team working with your kid, you know? That's just a one tip because it sounds like you are having these conversations well, but that is a huge distinguishing factor. You know, like one person she's in this phase of her career, the practice owner, where she's sharing this knowledge and having other practitioners carry it on, you know, so that is very cool. My gosh, yeah. Cool. Well, thank you. Maria, how are you doing?
Hi, Barrett. We're all good. We're currently verifying benefits now as most Health Alliance plans ended yesterday. We're checking
I
coverage under,
did.
yeah, and
Ooh,
they switched to other insurance.
okay.
So we're glad to see that many have switched to plans that are in network And it's been a slower week for us, which we think might be because of a lot of people are taking time off or traveling for the upcoming holiday. Just like in the past few weeks, we're seeing more and more people reaching out about couples therapy. Since interest keeps growing, we're thinking about starting a separate wait list for couples. This will help us stay organized and make sure that our dedicated clinician don't get overwhelmed or burned out. We only have one clinician who's doing couples therapy. She's
Okay.
Gottman trained, I believe that's what it's called.
Oh, Gottman. Yeah, that's a
Mhm.
famous method for couples therapy. Yeah.
And most of the kids have now been scheduled for sessions with school out for the summer. Families seem to have more flexibility, so they're taking the opportunity to fit therapy into their routines. But for our numbers, the total percentage of intakes booked for this month, we're at 46%, which is a decrease from 54% last month. So yeah.
Oh,
and
okay. A little bit lower. Yeah.
and we just received your email, or I received your email this morning about the videos or the video tutorials for Admira, and we're preparing to go live soon. So I'm gonna be having a meeting with Danny and Jen about Admira and how we're going to attend the trainings or
Awesome.
the yeah.
Great.
And
Yeah.
about our goals for this month, we haven't met the whole team yet since a lot of them are out for vacation right now. If I remember correctly, our main focus is working on filling the open spots for the new clinicians so they can start building their caseloads.
Got it. Yeah, for the new clinicians. Okay. Yeah, that makes total sense. Yeah, I'm glad you got the videos for Admira. I want to share a link about that with everyone today, just so that you all can see it. So you have the link, those that are using it. And yes, I didn't know about this insurance. Is this just one specific insurance plan that switched and ended, or is this just the fiscal year is ending?
I believe Health Alliance will be gone soon. Some
Okay.
plans are ending at the end of the year, but most of them ended yesterday, which is June 30th. So
Oh, okay.
we expect some clients will be switching to other insurances by the end of the year as well.
Mm. Okay, yep, I was wondering if that's like across all practices, but it's across all practices that accept that payer, that plan. Okay, interesting. Um, really, like, wait, do you have your, I was gonna look at your KPI sheet because it's still a very high conversion rate. Do you
I think
have,
Danny finished that one. I'm not sure. I think she did filled out of or finished the June sheet. I'm not sure. I'm gonna
oh,
check it right now.
that's fine. I can pop in and check because all I wanted to say was you said it went down from May to June, maybe the conversion rate, but it still sounded high. All I wanted to say was that was kind of high. Yeah, I see. You went from 54% of all intakes booked to 46% of all intakes booked.
Yep.
But still very high percentages. Like, that's very good. I think I want to do a study and figure out what's industry standard, but I know that like 30% is usually a stretch goal. Like it's like hard to get 30% and it's a good goal to have. So when you're over 30%, that's I think always very nice. I don't know if it's different in healthcare because it like if the percentage is usually kind of higher because people are calling you wanting help versus like sales when you're reaching out trying to sell something. An excellent conversion rate in sales is 80% of people say no and 20 say yes. Like that's an amazing conversion rate. But for you, you're in healthcare, people are reaching out to you. I feel like it should be higher than 20. But those are good percentages. I-
Thank you. I'm glad that it's still a good number though.
Yeah, those are good percentages. And the wait list always helps, like having people to pull from the wait list. They feed into that percentage in our sheet, so that helps a lot. That is great. Can you tell, oh, do you have any questions or any places you're stuck?
I think we're all good for now. Still doing the same routine, like updating the wait list every now and then, just to make sure that they're still interested in getting scheduled. Because sometimes they just disappear and don't respond to us anymore. So I just make sure that everything on the wait list is still definitely interested in getting scheduled.
Yeah, okay, that's good. That is good. Like yeah, I think that we are going to be able to, you mean you are routinely reaching out to the people who are waiting on the wait list
Yeah,
to confirm that they're still interested? Hmm. I think that in Admira, I should, I almost want to say I know that in Admira, like in the new CRM, it will email like everyone on the wait list. You can set it up to do that at regular intervals. I'm pretty sure you can set it up to do that so that like it can be unique to that person. Like, so 6 weeks after someone, if someone's been on the wait list for 6 weeks, they'll get an email reminder like, we haven't forgotten about you. Are you still interested? Get, reply and let us know. So you don't have to do that individually, which can save you some time.
Yeah, that's great.
Yeah, I like that feature. I like that because it's not like you can hit one button and email your whole wait list at once, which I think you can sort of do that in Practice Access. You could just email them all at once, but this can be based on how long they've been on the wait list. They can get that like reminder communication, which is nice.
yeah, that's great.
Yes. Um, Great. And there was some, Maria, when you had to kind of like nudge the therapists and you had to kind of say like, hey, we have, kind of like we have clients for you, and you had to you told me you had to kind of like persuade them to open up spots,
Yeah.
right? How did you do that? Because I thought maybe Aisha could benefit from kind of, Aisha, when you were saying you had to like kind of reach out to the therapist and say, hey, we have this kind of a client, like, would you be open to taking them? Maria, did you have like a strategy around that? Or was it more like you were just very consistent emailing the therapist?
Well, I'm just consistent emailing them every week. I can provide you, or I can send you the template that I'm using. It's just that I send this one every Friday or every Monday.
Oh, you have a template that you send to the
Yeah, I
therapist?
do. I send it
Oh,
through
cool.
chat.
Oh, wow. Thank you. We can put this in the online community. Would you mind if we put this in the online community?
Yeah, of course.
Cool. Just a quick update, you currently have X clients on your wait list. The number of clients listed above does not mean they're assigned exclusively to you. They might go to other clinicians. We'll continue to send weekly updates. If you have availability, we highly encourage you to open up spots. I see. Unless your caseload is full or already discussed your current scheduling plan with it. Okay. That's great. So I don't know, Aisha, if there's anything you can borrow from that about like, we have this client that we know would be a good fit for you. If you'd like to open it up, please open your spots. Anything like that.
Sometimes
Cool.
they just forget, like
Yeah.
they're not meeting their numbers and they forget to open up and take spots. So it helps a lot that we send them these weekly reminders to let them know how many clients have been waiting on their or have been waiting for them to open those spots.
Yeah. Okay, that makes good sense. All right, great. I love this. I like the sharing of resources. Thank you so much. I'll put that in the community. That community, by the way, new topic, but that community online, it has a way that we can meet in the community. Like we can actually meet in there instead of Zoom. And then it emails the recording to everyone. So I don't know if we should do that. I think Zoom is more comfortable for everyone, and we all are familiar with Zoom and how it works. But I just wanted to let you know that I tonight I'm gonna test it with me and Karen, who leads the Wednesday group. We're gonna test it, and I think it's gonna like automatically email our test out to everyone. But just so you know, there is a feature of I didn't want to complicate our lives with that, but it is. I'll put it in the community because I think you shared this in the chat and I could, share it in the community. I'm trying to find more ways that it directly goes there.
Can we meet
Such
each other that way? Like say after this, we want, say that Amanda and I wanted to just meet up. Can we meet up through the community?
I don't think there's a unique, not a video link. That is
Okay.
such a good question. There's DMs. Like you can
Mhm.
DM each other in there. Yeah. And I know you all don't need like one more thing to log into, but I'm still sticking to this so that it's our place. Like if you even go once a week and you just log in once a week and see what's going on. But yeah, that would be really cool. But I know the reason I have the profiles is so that you can see who has the same EHR as you, who has the same approximate number of clinicians or where they are in the country. So then if you wanted to like DM Gloria, I wonder if I know it lets you. Like, I think it's like this. And I have never DM'd Gloria. Oh, that's Christy. Oh, wait, you might be able to meet up. Except I'm wondering why it took me to Christy because you all saw me click on Gloria, right? I can't deal with one more technology platform. But like, oh, maybe I clicked on, maybe I accidentally clicked. So I think you might be able to meet up if you want to try it, Amanda and Stacy. Or if anyone wants to try it. That's kind of cool. That is a possibility. I'm trying to be more active in there. I'm going to go in like Monday, Wednesdays, and Fridays and type and kind of compile our resources. Yes. Cool. So speaking of resources, wait, does anyone else have anything else? I was going to just review something from last week, but any other questions or updates? Okay. I know it's yeah, the beginning of July. So if you can by next week nudge whoever is responsible for setting the goals for the KPIs to like put them in the sheet, that would be key. Maybe not this week because of the holiday, but by next week if we put the goals in, that way because we have a whole system where we review at the end of the month and send a report out, but it's kind of blah if there aren't goals. And that only is true for practices who are focusing on KPIs. Some of the practices, like that is not the focus this month, and you don't need to put goals because you're just tracking, and that's fine too. Yeah. So yes, just speaking of resources, I did not post this yet, but we got to talk a little bit last week about the one theme of overcoming objections. And I put together, because I'm not a graphic designer, just a very quick like recap of the formula that I recommend for overcoming objections. I think this is something like a script, not a script, something like a drill that athletes do that like you can never do it enough times throughout, the life of your practice. I feel like it's something that really great salespeople always sharpen their skills, right? And you're not salespeople, but really great athletes also sharpen their skills. So really great client care coordinators are always like refining things, finding ways to like optimize. So we talked about last week if there were like 10 people that just were not willing to book an intake because they did not, you don't have the availability that they want, or they can't use their insurance, or they were stuck on one therapist that they really want to see. And then 9 of them, you ask them one more time, you ask all 10 of them one more time if they would be willing to try it out and book. And 9 of them say no, but one of them was like, okay. They said no the first time, and then the next time you kind of encouraged them and they were encouraged to try booking the session. Even that one can really impact first you impact that person's life because now they're not going another month searching for a therapist, but it can also impact the numbers at the practice. So we don't need to practice this today because we don't have time, but I just wanted to let you know that I'll lay it out a little bit better and post it. So in our community. So just as a reminder, this is kind of like key language. I don't like the word script. So actually I will change it to say formula. Okay. Um, they're like, I just am not going to do virtual. I only want in person. It's not going to work for me. The first part of the 4-part formula is just reflecting back. I hear what you're saying. I would also feel that way. Or I talk to a lot of people that feel that way just before you go into parts 2 and 3. So 2 is reminding them of why they were calling in the first place, why they told you they were calling. Well, I remember you're calling in because you said you're feeling so stressed at work that you need a change. And literally just reminding them, I hear you. I hear that you are not open to virtual sessions. And you did tell me you're calling because you're so stressed at work, you really need a change. And then, so that's number 2. It's literally just you told me X, Y, Z. And then part 3 is we're linking what they told you to the specific value that a clinician at your practice provides or that your practice specializes in. So if it's postpartum and your practice works exclusively with women and women's issues, then it would be, well, you mentioned your experience in postpartum, and we really specialize in that in the area. Like our practice is specialized in that field, and we're known in the region for that. Would you be open to trying a virtual session for the intake to see if it is a good fit? And I'll make notes for your therapist that you're on the fence. So it doesn't, what I use that example for is to just show you it doesn't always have to be the clinician. It can also just be like Aisha's practice is really known for trauma in kids. We have a practice owner who has been who has been devoted the center to her life's work on trauma in children. Even though that middle of the day appointment is really not convenient, would you be open to booking it for July and seeing if we could move it in September if it works for you? Just that one ask. And it's actually like hard to ask because like you feel just like I've heard people say you feel like you're bothering like Maria said, she feels like she's bothering the therapist sometimes if she's following up. Or I've heard other people say they feel like they're bothering the clients when they're like, hey, do you still want to get therapy? We have, following up. But asking is harder than we think. Like, it's hard to actually say one more time, how would you feel about putting that on the calendar for Friday? And that is the actually most important thing. Because if you do all these, they might be like, yeah, you're right. Specialize in trauma for kids. I understand, but I'm not doing virtual. But if you ask, how would you feel about just putting that session in and letting me know how it goes to see if it's a good fit? That ask is actually harder than it sounds, but it's really important. That's all I want.
Barrett, can I interject for a second?
Yeah.
I just did some training on productive therapist that was about difficult calls and how you might respond. I actually, what they do is they model it so you can listen through the whole call. They have the caller and the person who answered the phone. And I found just listening to the approach of the practice person to be very helpful. I'm not a great phone person, which is probably ironic given that I'm on this call for what we do. But I thought that the modeling of it was really good. Your notes are fabulous and they're going to help too. But for anyone who, you might want to search, I haven't looked. And if I find anything, I'll certainly share. But I really like to be able to hear how someone else would say it in an effective way. Does that make sense? So
Oh,
being able to hear how someone took the call, scripts are great and everything else, but also inflection and empathy and all that other stuff really works in too. So I'm going to keep researching that because I also think it'd be a good in-office tool for front desk staff. If once a day you could take out 3 minutes and play a, hey, listen to the way this person handled it. And then it might stick into some people's heads and might help them next time they hear something. So I just wanted to throw that out there.
That is so cool. I didn't know that productive therapists had like recorded calls, like to like preview. I've heard about their training for intakes. Yeah. So you have my juices stirring with this because like what I see there, this is really good because I think the inflection matters a lot. Yeah. And there's two things. Nobody will learn from like there's the first level is just reading the script. The next level is listening, which is so much better. And then the next level is practicing in a zero stakes scenario, like practicing without a live client and doing more like a role play back and forth. So I have thought about like how do we set up more opportunities for practice? Like maybe once a month there's a day every week where we're always overcoming objections and you just hop into practice and you come in and like, you know, like that's what I've thought of before. Like, okay, this hour is just about that. Let's practice with each other. But I had not thought about that middle piece of just listening to like someone else doing it. So I love that. Yeah, I love that. Putting these things into action. Yeah, yes. So I will, and then it also, I'll post that in the community for you, for everyone. And it's also interesting because you could use, you could use this one formula just for the virtual objection and then the same formula just for the availability objection. And there could be like so many versions of each. So I want to hear from everyone too, how they do it and how they would do it. So we can like build this library of all the different versions and help each other. Yeah, that is a great idea. So these are coming your way. Yes. Um, I don't, yeah, more. Oh my gosh, so many ideas. When I had to, I'll let you go in a second. I'll share a personal anecdote. I was a sales trainer for financial service agents in LA, and they would hire 20 at a time, and I was their trainer. And the trainer before me, she had this process where, to what you were kind of saying, Stacy, but this was intense. Everyone was on the phones in the call center, and we would like kind of monitor the calls and see the results. And then if things were not going well, or if things were going well, for the 20 people that just got hired, we'd pull them into a room and play one person's call. So it's one of those 19 on the call for 15 minutes and the other, all 20 sitting there in a room listening to the call. And maybe it was sort of like felt painful for the person who was doing the call, maybe because they had to hear themselves speak, but it was so educational because then you have the benefit of not being in the moment and being able to say, well, why did that work? Why didn't that work? And that was one of the most like constructive but really intense training scenarios I've ever been in. I just agree, like it doesn't, you can't do it from writing. You have to do it from listening or practice. And yeah. And you all have so much practice all day. Like all day, every day. You're just like calling, practicing, calling, practicing. So the more we can practice together, any ideas or ways that would feel comfortable to you without feeling like you're put on the spot, but would still be helpful to do in this group, I want to hear about them. Yeah. All right. Anything else? All right. Well, keep in touch through the community and enjoy your fireworks if you see them.
Barrett, were you going to post a link in the notes or you were going to post it to Mastermind?
Yes, thank you so much. Yep. I will let me put this, thank you. This is what went out this morning in the Admira boot camp. I just wanted to, yeah, I want to encourage everyone to take a look at that if you are switching to Admira. So yeah, so for Maria, also Aisha already has Admira. Should I include Matthew on the emails with these videos? That was a
Sure.
question. Okay. I will send you an email. I'll get you on the email list, Matthew. So we're sending out some Admira videos. That is the link in the chat. Yes. All right. I must run. I have another meeting starting at this minute, apparently. But have a good weekend, everybody. Have a good holiday. And
Thanks.
take care, Amanda and Aisha. If we don't see you for a while, take care. Wishing you the best.
Thank you
Bye.
guys.
Bye, everyone. Thank you.